I'm back with the Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She sits on the Oversight and Accountability Committee. She's a former public defender and civil rights attorney. Congresswoman, you're in a different place than you sometimes are, but sometimes you're in a place in which you've got your picture of you making a speech or being sworn in. I don't know what it is. And Shirley Chisholm's. Shirley Chisholm is a massive influence on you.
Absolutely. It's great to see you, Allie. And, you know, Shirley Chisholm, if you're a Black woman in politics, I think that she's a huge influence and looms over all of us. And we're all trying to strive for the type of fortitude that she exemplified. I mean, it was interesting to listen to you talk about how she said that they wanted her to be seen and not heard, and she refused to do that. I can recall getting the exact same advice when I was a freshman in the state house, where they told me as a freshman, my job was to sit there and to be seen and not heard. And so, yeah, we all look to her for inspiration. And I know that the vice president is not entering this moment without acknowledging the fact that she stands on the shoulders of Shirley Chisholm and so many others.
Shirley Chisholm had a sort of a quiet strength about her, almost like an old soul. She knew full well in the 60s and into the early 70s that she was going to hit a ceiling. She was going to hit a glass ceiling. And she didn't care that she was going to be mocked for it. And yet today what we have is a lot of the similar attacks against Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris doesn't go into this not knowing that she can succeed.
That's exactly right. I mean, the vice president has consistently shattered glass ceilings. I mean, that's just what she did. And honestly, if she listened to the naysayers, she wouldn't be where she is today. You know, when you've seen someone like a Shirley Chisholm go out there and say, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to actually earn delegates and I'm actually going to end up on various states' ballots, then that tells you, you know what? This many years later, I can go even further. And that's what we see out of a Kamala Harris. The very first time that I had a chance to speak to the vice president one-on-one, I told her about the inspiration that she had in my life, because she's the first Black female prosecutor that I ever became aware of. We didn't have one in the state of Texas. And as a Black female lawyer, most people don't know that my very first race is the one that I lost. And I was 28 years old, but I ran for district attorney. And it was because of the influence of being able to see it. This is what we mean when we say representation matters. It's about being able to see yourself in someone else. And so I take the job that I have as a member of Congress as one of less than 60 Black women who've ever had the privilege of swearing into the House. I take that seriously because I know that there are other little girls that are looking up and recognizing and realizing that this too can be a Black job.
And let's talk about Black jobs for a second, because Donald Trump, I mean, I think he stepped on a landmine by bringing this up. Rachel Scott asked him from ABC, she asked him about it at the NABJ, because he kept talking about Black jobs. He has no explanation for what any of that nonsense means. But you took that on the other day. You were I think you were at a concert or something like that, and you reminded people that the most important Black job coming up is?
To vote in November. I absolutely did. I did the Broccoli City Fest in Washington, D.C., and almost 20,000 people were in the crowd. You know, when it comes to this election, and when it comes to, honestly, any election, we have to go to where the people are. And so that's how I've been successful in the past. And so I made sure I took that message to those 20,000 concert goers and made sure that they understood what their Black job was. And I also made mention of Project 2025. And I was so excited that so many people in the crowd had already heard of it. And I told the ones who had not heard of it that they needed to go ahead and check into it.
You're pretty gutsy bringing all that stuff at a concert. I would assume that was a lot of young people out there. But it is, and you speak of something interesting, because I'm hearing from people that they're hearing about Project 2025 from their kids.
That is good. That is what listen, I want everyone screaming it from the mountaintops, because it's just that dangerous. Now, here is the deal. I think that when President Biden was in the race, then I was trying to make sure that we were pushing out the message as it relates to Project 2025. The beauty of having the vice president in the race is that she has given people so much hope and optimism. So not only are they looking forward to voting against Donald Trump and Project 2025, but they're also hopeful and looking forward to voting for the vice president. And I think it's that optimism and that hope that will carry us to win the day on November 5th. But for those that don't know, or if you have any questions, listen, we are not seeking perfection in any candidates. And Lord knows the Republicans definitely aren't, because they have a 34-count felon who has 2 impeachments under his belt, a whole bunch of other a whole bunch of other indictments that are pending. And well, you know, in our community, we look at it and say, now, how many baby mamas do you have? Like, listen, couldn't have been Barack Obama and somehow ascended to the presidency. But this guy continues to fail up. But more importantly, it's our vice president that will take us into the future instead of taking us back. She consistently says, we will not go back. We won't go back to the 1960s, where so many things were impossible.
It's a motivating message. Jasmine Crockett, always great to see you. Thank you so much. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas.